Before we begin, let me start off by saying thank you. You watch it right there. Click on my video, hear me talk about a movie. I appreciate it so much. I love you. Thank you. It means a lot. With that being said, let's talk about a movie that I swear I thought I was going to watch and absolutely just take a big old shit on. But after seeing it, it's not too bad. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, the 2025 horror movie that's officially coming out in February, but it's got a Fathom event that's going to be in theaters for the next 3 days for you guys to check out, all four of you guys who care. It's actually the third movie in the TCU, the Twisted Childhood Universe. Yeah, the TCU. Everything's getting universe now. The Peter Pan movie takes place in the same universe as that Winnie the Pooh movie that happened a few years back. Yep, that universe is still going strong. Even though I thought that we're going to get Bambi, then Peter Pan, then Pinocchio, but I guess we get Peter Pan first because he got the short straw. So how is Peter Pan Neverland? Is this movie worth checking out? Is it good? It's not bad as far as January horror movies go. I'm going to say that there are absolutely worse horror movies that have came out in January. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Night Swim. As far as horror movies go, I'm going to say that this was pretty by the numbers, pretty safe, pretty nothing like knocking your socks off. I will say it is gory as hell. So all you people who are just like, I can't do blood, I can't do gore, I can't. You better stay away from this movie because it does get pretty bloody, pretty gory in your face. Like, kind of like light Terrifier, like, you're coming from a guy who has seen Terrifier 3 like 1, 2, maybe 3 times. I have seen almost every way that a person can get dismembered in a horror movie. So when things are happening to people in this movie, I was just like, oh, that's something. Oh, Terrifier 3 did it first and did it better. Let's not waste any more of your time. Let's talk about the good and the bad of Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare, officially in theaters for the next 3 days. Should you see it? Do you need to see it? Well, let's talk about it. Here's why. Acting in the movie, I'm going to say that the characters in the movie, they were okay. Again, no one's getting a Golden Globe or nothing. They were okay. Gordon Portlock, the person who's actually playing Peter Pan, I felt like he was pretty convincing as a deranged serial killer who's kidnapping kids and shit. I thought he played that pretty well. There were a lot of scenes when he first introduced into the movie, when the movie kicks off, I was pretty much just like, he reminds me of Heath Ledger's Joker, in a sense. There were a lot of points in the movie where not only were his, like, mannerisms really, like, Joker-ish, and the movie kicks off, when you see him for the first time, it's just straight up like, yeah, that's totally Joker, even with the slick back hair. But I thought that he did a good job as playing, like, Peter Pan, who's just like, oh, yeah, I'll take you all to Neverland. Neverland. Megan Plitzico as Wendy, our newest final girl in the movie, I felt like she was okay and decent enough in the movie, too, even though, straight up, you did just let a couple people just pretty much die on her watch. Just saying, like, Laurie Strode wouldn't have went for that. Overall cast in the movie, not knocking your socks off, they're functional for a January horror movie. Plot of the movie is pretty simple, right in the pocket. Pretty much she's following Wendy, who's just, you know, a teenage girl in Britain, shit like that. One day she goes to her brother Michael's school, and Michael just pretty much just says, fuck off, fall off, and then he goes off to the woods and stuff like that. Pretty much Peter Pan kidnaps him, so now pretty much we have a story of Wendy trying to find her lost brother and save him before Peter Pan takes him to Neverland, and it's gonna be bad news bears. That's pretty much the movie. You got Wendy trying to find her brother Michael, and Peter Pan in his fucking Neverland Michael Jackson lair trying to kill him. That's it. Okay, the good in the movie. How's that horror? The horror elements in the movie were actually pretty good, I will say. Like I said, a lot of people do get massacred and hurt. I will say this is one of the few horror movies, again, that you do see kids, they do get killed in this movie, but it's one of those, like, off-screen deaths. You're not going to see a kid pretty much get, like their head chopped off or nothing. Nothing's going to top what you saw in It Chapter 1. Nothing stopping that. I'll say the kills in the movie are pretty, like, gory and bloody, stuff like that. You know, people are getting their arms chopped off and head faces slashed. That happens, and again, if you are squeamish about that, you're gonna be like, that's not my jam, I can't take it. But if you are like a horror of gore like me, you're gonna be like, right in the eyeball. That's what I like to see. The other thing I'll praise about the movie is the psychological elements in the movie, because you do kind of watch this movie and kind of think, like, if this guy really Peter Pan, did he think he's Peter Pan, is gonna be flying off to Neverland and shit like that, or is he pretty much a deranged strange serial killer who's just doing shit because he's crazy. The movie does kind of ride that line as best it can until like a scene in the movie kind of makes you think one way, like, okay, this is clearly like some supernatural shit's happening, but then it never gets brought up again, and then it's just like, I guess the movie just forgot about that element, so I guess it is what it is. I don't want to spoil it. The thing I'll say is the fact that this movie is kind of like a Frankenstein of other horror movies. Like, you got a little bit of It Chapter 1, got a little bit of Evil Dead, yeah, a little bit of Terrifier 3, yeah. It's pretty much a Frankenstein of those 3 horror movies stitched together in this movie, and a bit of Black Phone right in the center. So pretty much you have a horror movie that's not too original in its plot and structure. It is all familiar shit you have seen done before, but it does do it competently enough. At the end of the day, I thought Peter Pan Neverland was a horror movie that wasn't complete crap. I definitely feel like there are worse horror movies that have came out in January. This one is like a nice safe bucket for you guys. I guess my only real nitpick is the fact that it does take place in the cinematic universe that is the Winnie the Pooh franchise, but it doesn't feel like it. There are no like callbacks to those 2 movies. So with that being said, what's the rating? Do we got to see it, stream it, or skip it? I'm going to say that Peter Pan Neverland is definitely a pretty solid enough movie if you stream it. So Peter Pan Neverland is officially in theaters in January, I believe, but you get to see it for 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So that's your jam. Check it out. I think you'll have an okay enough time with it if you got time. You guys in the next video, and as always, subscribe. Until next time.